Let's see if it went live. Yeah, it's live now.
I bet.
I'm checking it. Hold on. All right, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's live now.
I bet.
I'm checking it. Hold on. All right, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's live now.
I bet.
I'm checking it. Hold on. All right. Akim out there. I want to say shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, this your brother Samat.
Shawatazak.
It's your brother Parathon.
All right, we're coming with a quick lesson, but first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. All right, and double honors to our elders and apostles, which are a great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, the men out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, and to the sincere Agwafim that's listening and learning, and to the Israelites that be likening to the speckled bird, to USA Shalom.
Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.
All right, now we coming with a lesson, man, going into, how we need to resist the devil and resist temptations, man. Because as you know, we just come out of the Passover. And as you know, the Passover around this time is the new year. This is the year of new crops, new beginnings. And it's also around the time where a lot of brothers, and sisters get sifted out of this truth, man.
Right.
But that's why it's very imperative that we remain in a state of examination, in a state of self-reflection to make sure that we're grounded and firm and immovable in this truth, man. And I'm gonna start by getting the precept. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, "Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves that it says how that Yahweh Shai Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates." So that's why we got to constantly self-examine and to really reflect on our everyday actions, because this truth is all about growth, man. It's all about making sure you're better than you were yesterday, better than you were a month ago, 6 months ago, last year. Every brother in this camp has grown since last Passover, man. And that's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. But that's the spirit. That's what the word does. The spirit does. This word is likened into wisdom, and the scriptures say that the law maketh wise the simple, man.
That's right, huh?
You brothers had something that I wanted to add?
Bring that scripture out, bro.
Which one?
You know what? I forgot I didn't do this real quick.
Movable KJV.
Got it right though. As far as this that time, especially in the Lenten season. Okay, we got we're supposed to have already taken 11 out of our houses,
Right?
Okay, which is and of course not to eat any leaven, and like the scriptures say, a little bit of leaven of the whole lump. And leaven is representation of sin. All right, that sin that whether it be accidental sin or iniquity, the demons that create habitual sin, smoking, drugs, you know what I mean, and a plethora of other things. Okay, it's that time to really be, like the brother has said, to self-examine, so that we understand that if we still are breaking the least bit of the law, that we're guilty of all the laws.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, obviously ain't nobody perfect, but we're to strive to perfection.
Huh?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, in the practice of the Lenten season that we're in, you absolutely should have all the leaven out of your house and out of your diet, okay, which is representation of what you should be doing spiritually, which is taking those sinful thoughts, sinful deeds, okay, sinful associations, all right, and to sift them out of your life. Or likewise, the Lord will get the leaven out of his house, so to speak.
I got something on that real quick. Small one. It's Sirach. This is the book of Sirach 4:28. It says, "Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee."
Hey, and there it is, man. Get the one where it says, I think of it in a second. But that's beautiful. Matter of fact, resist the devil and he shall flee. hey man, once you start showing that faithfulness, all right, once you start showing, like, all right, I'm gonna give a testimony as far as like, certain things that I sin with. Like, it has always been a struggle for me to stop smoking. All right. And so it wasn't until I started, seeking the Lord, like with the extra fervent spirit, okay, that, my earthly temptations were overcome. My urges to sin were overcome with the urges to then become more righteous.
That's right.
Because, all right, if your cup is, say you got a glass of water, man, well, one cup of food or one drop of food coloring is going to turn that whole water a different color, man. It's not going to be clear no more. All right. So, we're in a time where you want your cup to be crystal clear, man, as best as possible. All right. And, and that's just an analogy to represent, us resisting the things of the world, because you see an overwhelming push, specifically on you Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to take part into the things of the world, man. Whether it be, different pharmakia or as the world calls it, the pharmaceuticals. All right. Which is all bullshit. All right. I'm not going to speak too much on that. On a lifestyle, like specifically one of the big things is sexuality. All right. And you have a huge push. I mean, you got to think, they take the guy with the #1 streaming song in the history of the world, and they completely turn this dude out, man. I'm speaking about the guy Lil Nas X, man. It's not only that he's pushing for that, the homosexual agenda to be on specifically Black men. All right. You got to think of how influential the hip hop industry is. All right. So now at the very top of that, at least by numbers, you got this guy who, and I ain't going to get into this super descriptive nature of his content, but, they got this guy and he's pushing not only a homosexual agenda, which is satanic in itself, but an actually occult satanic agenda, basically desensitizing you to the things that tell you is clearly evil in the book, man.
Right. I got a precept. Salaki.
Bring it out.
This is 1 Corinthians 6 in the 18th verse. It says, flee fornication, which is sexual immorality. It says, every sin that man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. So it's saying right there that fornication is a sin far worse than the rest of them. Saying the sin is sin at the end of the day, but it's saying flee fornication for a reason, man.
God, and that fornication in a bigger sense is, worshiping other gods, man. God. It's because it is in fact sexual immorality, estranged flesh, committing adultery and things of that nature. But majorly fornication is to, partake and to live a lifestyle and exemplify a belief system that's contrary to the way that the Lord would have you to live. All right. Right. And so, as the hopeful people of the Lord, it behooves us to take a look at who runs the world. Obviously in Job, Job 20? It says that the world has been given into that. You ain't got to get that.
No, I think it's
given into the hands of the wicked. All right. So if the evil man runs the world, then the major influences of the world are inherently wicked.
I got something too for that.
Bring it out.
Let me see. I'm gonna start at verse 4. This is James 4:4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of this world is an enemy of the Most High. It says, do ye think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? It says, but he that giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, the Most High resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. And this is the point. Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh, resist the devil, and he will flee from thee.
There it is.
So because this world, man, like the brother was saying, this world is ran by the wicked. So therefore, the influences of this world are going to be wicked, man. So if you are a friend of this world, that makes you a friend of the wicked. And if you can't be a friend of the wicked and a friend of the righteous, you know what I'm saying? Because the scriptures say that well, no, the old saying in the world, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, you know.
Right.
And us being in this truth, our enemy is wickedness, and wickedness is also the enemy of righteousness, so that makes righteousness our friend. So what we do, we hold dear unto our friends and we support our friends. So, and you look at it in the spiritual sense, that's why we submit ourselves to Yahweh, because Yahweh is righteousness, man. And Yahweh's ways are righteousness. So when we submit, and ultimately righteousness reigns supreme, it's just that the Lord allows wickedness to have their way now, so that he can ultimately show his power in the earth, man. So when you submit yourself unto Yahweh, the devil, you know, the devil, of course, you're going to have temptation when you come to serve the Lord, but the more and more you submit yourself to Yahweh, fasting, prayer, being around brothers, being abound in the work, you know, the devil will resist you, man. You know, and I realized that because the more I give attention to things of the world, the more temptation comes my way. But the more I feed the spirit, you know, and just the past 2 weeks alone, I feel like I've been feeding my spirit something crazy. I've been having like a 60, like a 70-40, 60, like I said, like a 70-30, 60-40 type of vibe, with more towards the spirit, and temptations that I usually have in the world have not been coming unto me, man. You know,
that's beautiful.
And it just proves that the scriptures speak, man, truth.
That's a false abomination. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, man.
God, and that balance, like the brother has said, should lean towards the Most High and the things that He speaks of in the book, rather than the things of the world. Let me just bring this out.
Like it real quick. Just even when we're in work, you know, me being at work, I have the option to choose what I do on my downtime at work, you know. And my job, I have a lot of time to where between customers, I can be on my phone watching YouTube. So I could be either watching lessons or I could be watching worldly things, man. So that's another part of like using that, like you said, it needs to be leaned more towards the Lord than things in the world, because even now you might have a job where you don't get the time to be on your phone. That's cool. You know what I mean? But for brothers that have jobs where they can actually put headphones in and, you know, throw a YouTube video in the background and still do their job, hey, throw a lesson on, you know, an hour. That's where you can get, like, it's the brothers that do hour 30 long lessons that you might not necessarily sit down on your couch and watch full through. Hey, do when you at work. Put it in, put your headphones in, put YouTube on, put your phone in your pocket, and you moving and listening and feeding the spirit, man.
Let me bring this out because it kind of goes into what you was just saying. This is Matthew 26:41. It says, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know, so like the brother was just saying, you know, you gotta be circumspect about the things that you delve into, because they will in fact affect your spirit. You know, if you diligently seek in the Lord, then every opportunity that you can, you know, obviously within balance, you're going to dive into these lessons. All right, you're going to dialogue with the brothers. You're going to do lessons. You're going to read the word, you know, and study. And these things equip you with the weapons that you need to resist the devil. You know, because like the brother Samak has said, hey, everybody is going to face temptations. All right. And the Lord is the one who essentially sent those temptations your way to, you know, to understand it fully. All right. And thus he's also going to provide a way for you to overcome it, you know. And
that's right.
That brings me to where was I at here? This is 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to man. And God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. All right. And that, I don't know what translation that was, but it wasn't King James. But, you know, that's you know, it still relays the exact same point.
It does, yeah.
That, you know, there is no temptation that you have an excuse to then fall into it, man. because the Lord is always going to provide a way for you to get out of it, okay? And specifically, you can preempt it, like what the brother said, by feeding your spirit, okay?
Yep.
Strengthening your faith, all right?
And just Salaki, just to go out, you know, to go into for edification purposes, the word temptation, the root word, the etymology, the blue letter is pyrosmos. I believe it's pronounced pyrosmos, and that goes into experiment, attempt, trial, and proving. So, you know, this is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's experiment. His experiment is to tempt us, man, through Satan, you know, through everyday things in life, jobs, women, our children, you know, everything we can think of, man.
God.
I had something too real quick. This Sirach 2, starting from the top. This is my son. If thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. You see? It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end, man. So it's all worth it at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, brothers going to get our bodies back. Lord willing, we be of that number.
Right. And that's be talking about like certain situations, right? Like a brother will be, you know, he'll wake up to the truth. He'd be studying and this, that, and third. And then his mom had tragically died. And because of that, now that causes him to sink back into that old man, give up the gospel, and go back to try to satiate his humanly emotions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be drugs or women, you know what I mean? However it is that you could, you know, try to satisfy the flesh because of whatever you're going through. But the Lord says, listen, whatever you're going through, take cheerily and come after me even harder. You know what I mean? Because at the end, you're going to be that much, you know what I mean? Like, think about Joseph. You know what I mean? Joseph was a man of the Lord, and his brothers sold him into slavery. Yeah. Right? But he didn't, you know, turn away from the Lord while he was in prison. You know what I mean? While these things was happening to him. All right? And then because of his faithfulness, the Lord ended up exalting him at his end, man. At his end, he was the reason that Egypt became a great nation in the first place. You know what I mean? So likewise, in the modern day, we are to resist the temptation, you know, strive even harder to be, you know, looked upon as an acceptable sacrifice of the Lord. And in that time, the Lord will exalt us, okay, into salvation, man, Lord willing. You know, he'll exalt us to be his people again, man. Like the scriptures say, he will be our God, and we will be his people. You know? So, you know, and Lord willing, we be of those men, okay? And you know, the brothers listening, the sisters listening, and, you know, doing the work and whatnot, that we, you know, continue to strive and resist the world and all the temptations. Get that, John, prepare thy soul for temptation real quick.
That's the spirit, because I literally just brought that
out. Brought that out, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, bring it out again, because it goes with what I'm saying.
It's Sirach 2:1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Boom. So just know that when you in this thing, now you've basically you've clearly divided the paths now. You know what I'm saying? Now you understand there's a way of righteousness, which is narrow and a straight way, and then there's the way of wickedness, which is broad, and it leads to destruction. You know what I mean? But because you decided to serve the Lord, now you understand what these two paths are. So you shouldn't go into the broad way. You should, you know what I mean?
That narrow path.
There it is.
That straight and narrow path. And that word straight goes into basically a level of difficulty, man, because, you know, it is a straight path, but it's a very difficult path, man. And like I said, you know, like I always say, whenever I touch on that topic, you know, you have to overcome, or you either have to run through your obstacles or your temptations, or overcome them, man.
Right.
You know, that's the only way, because the scripture says it's like a fire on one side and raging waters on the other, man.
I got 2nd Ezra 7 right here, bro. I was just looking for that script, but you
might as well just bring it out, bro.
I'll
break it down.
This 2nd Ezra chapter 7, and I'll just start from the top. It says, and when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me that night before. And he said unto me, up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is also another thing: a city builded and set upon a broad field and full of good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water.
And what's that, man? What's that city that's on a broad field, man? It's the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, and the entrance thereof is a narrow path, man. Because like the scriptures say, it says, "Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, but narrow is the path that leadeth to salvation," man. So it says, "Many shall go on a broad path." Why? Because it's an easy road, man. It's a wide street. You know, many people can go down. You can get down there faster. You don't have to worry about traffic or whatever. But then that narrow path, man, that's a tough path to go down. You know, that's the path that leads to salvation. Because contrary to Christianism, shout out to
Christianism.
I forgot what brother said. I think it was Shapal, right?
Yeah.
Contrary to Christianism, man. You have to work for the kingdom, man. You know, now if you be of the elect, you will ultimately you were already predestinated to make it to the kingdom. But even still, that spirit is going to be on you to strive and work for the kingdom. That's why it says that narrow path, man. You have fire on one side, and raging waters on the other. Now, finish reading. I think it's going to go a little deeper into it.
This is the second Esdras 7 in the 8th verse. And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
So only one man could go at once, man. That's a tight path, man. So when you think about that, when you have this tunnel vision, man, and we're tunnel vision on salvation, man. So at the end of the day, the only way for us to go is forward, because that straight and narrow path, man. You got fire on the right side and water, a deep body of water on your left. So if you turn right, if an obstacle come your way, you turn right, you're gonna get burnt up. If you go left, you're gonna drown in the sea of water, man. And if you try to turn around, what's behind you? That death angel, man.
Right.
So there's no way to go but forward, man. If you want salvation, because no matter if you go left, right, or you go back, it's death, man. So the only way to go is forward in this truth, man. Because you don't want to get caught in that fire. When you liken that to the nuclear missiles, that water, man, you can also liken that to the fire, or you can liken that to the pestilence, the destruction, Jacob's trouble, and behind you, the death angel, which the Lord can throw at you anytime, man.
Salakia, and it's the land back off that, that also goes into studying the make thyself approved and what is it? Salakia, it just slipped. I believe that's all I was going to say though. Going in one at a time, man. Though it may be a body, you in it for your own salvation.
Working out your salvation with fear and trembling.
Shalom, Ariah. Shalom, Mark. Yeah, man. Hey, like the Ariah said, the brother said, man. Remember Lot's wife? She turned back and she was turned to a pillar of salt. You liken that to that? Now that angel with that, it was a death angel, man, that the Lord sent on Sodom and Gomorrah, man. That's why I say, like, when you going down this narrow path, you got fire, water, and then behind you is a death angel. So you turn back, you're likened to Lot's wife. That death angel is gonna get you, man.
Exactly, man. And it was beautiful that you said it like that, because, like you said, you got the fire on one hand, the water on the other, right? And then if you turn around, you gotta face that death angel. But if you keep, and that death angel, you can liken unto Yahweh Shah himself.
Yep.
You feel me? Because if you moving forward now, that same angel, which is Yahweh Shah, if you turn around, he's the death angel. But if you keep moving forward, he's your support,
pushing you forward. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's beautiful, man. You know what I mean? Let me grab this real quick. This is Romans 12. I'm gonna just start at 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. But be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. All right. So, that goes into what the brother was saying. All right. To be conformed to the world, okay, is to turn left or to turn right or to turn back, man. And there's nothing for you, at that end except for destruction. You know what I mean? All right. It says, be not conformed, but be renewed, man, in your mind. Okay. When you renewed in your mind, now it's not to say the temptation is going to be less for you, but how can I say this? It's going to be familiar to you, man. You know what I mean? It's the difference between the soldier that enlisted and gets the front line that day, or the soldier that's been, in 10 tours already. You know what I mean? He's the head of the Spec Ops unit. You know what I'm saying? Lieutenant, captain, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but it's a difference, man. And as the Lord is dealing with you and allows you to get deeper into it, the temptation is going to be there, but the Lord has now been equipping you to be able to deal with it. Like the brother Samak said, man. You gotta either avoid it or just go through it, man. I mean, because if you veer off now from the path that the Lord has set you on, okay, then you're gonna fall by the wayside into the fire or drown in the water, or the Lord straight up can kill you, man.
And there's that irony again, man, with that fire and water, saying that the water destroyed the earth in the time of Noah, and how this time around, he bringing them missiles, man, that straight heat.
That's real.
This is 1 Peter 5, and I'll start at 6. It says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Let me see. It says, let me read the last one. It says, but the power of all grace, but the Most High of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Yahweh Shah Mashiach, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you, man. To be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Hey, man. So that's why we gotta humble ourselves, man, because at the end of the day, man, the Lord has not dealt with us according to our iniquities, man.
Right.
So we all are worthy of death, man. So that's why we got to give praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, in all things we do, even in the time of our afflictions, man, because at the end of the day, even no matter what brothers are going through, man, there's somebody in the world that's going through something worse, man. Or there were men, great men in the world, it's like not in the world, but in the earth of our ancestry that have went through worse, man. It's always good to think about Lot, man. Job, you know what I mean? In many men in the scriptures, man.
You could go back to Joseph, man. How Joseph told him.
Yeah,
his own brother sold him in the
30 shekels.
And then throughout that whole process, he never lost faith in the Lord, man. And guess what? The Lord exalted him, man. Exactly. He remained humble, and the Lord exalted him and made him the greatest man in Egypt. Egypt was great because of Joseph, man.
Exactly.
Egypt would have died if it wasn't for Joseph, man.
Right.
Ultimately, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. But that's why we got to be sober and vigilant, man, because Satan he's on the move at all times. He's always watching, and he's always looking for ways to try to sift you out, man. He's always, because at the end of the day, and let me just grab this scripture because this is going to go into what I was talking about. This is James 1, and I start at 11. No, I start at 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say that he is tempted. When he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh, for Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and entice, man. So the Lord Yahweh is not tempting us, man, because he doesn't tempt us with evil. The Lord wants us to be righteous. So why would the Lord himself throw wickedness at us, man? But you know what it is? The Lord gave Satan the authority to throw temptations at us, man. You know, so it's Satan that's moving. He said, listen, these are my servants. Hey, listen, do what you got to do, but my elect is going to be my elect. So at the end of the day, the elect are going to be the ones that endure, like I said, endure temptation and receive their current life. But the brothers that's in this truth that are not of the elect, because you know you got guys that come into this thing that fall out, man, or guys that are in this thing and they're in this thing in vanity, man. So you got them guys who are going to be sifted and they're going to be tempted of lust from their own selves, because Satan knows us, man. Satan knows us better than we know ourselves, man.
Absolutely.
You know,
that's the authority given to him. God.
Exactly, man. So he knows what tempting to us. So he'll constantly tempt us, man. You know, whether it's via physical lust, man, whether it's through women, your actual woman, you know, whether it's through your children, money, cars, whatever, man. Satan is very crafty, man. You know, but like I said, but the elect are going to endure, man, because ultimately the elect are constantly in the spirit and meditation of spiritual things, you know, things that pertain to the Lord.
What did what did King David say? He said, I've been young and now I'm old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging bread, man.
Hey,
come on, man.
That's beautiful. Let me grab this real quick, and then we can start to kind of bring it to a close. This is Titus 2. I'm gonna start at 11. It says, "For the grace of Yahweh that bringeth salvation have appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and glorious appearing of the great God and our Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who gave himself for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works. These things speak and exhort and rebuke with all authority. Let no man despise thee." You know? And so, obviously the point in the early verses was, for the grace of Yahweh that bringeth salvation have appeared to all men, teaching us to deny ungodliness and worldly lust, man, that we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in the present world. Okay? So in other words, to resist temptation, man, resist the influence of the world, resist the guile of the world to be a part of it, because that in turn will then make you an enemy of the Most High, man.
Exactly.
You can't box with God. Listen, you don't want to be on the wrong side of the fight when the fighting start at the end of time, man.
Exactly.
You know,
hey, you want to be on the winning side. The winning side is already determined, man. The winner has already been chosen, man.
Exactly.
You know, the fight at this point, the fight is just for entertainment's sake, man. Carnally speaking, man.
God, bro. That's right.
You know, so you want to make sure you on the winning side, man. Put all your money, like I said, vainly speaking, put all your chips on Yahweh, man.
Hey, put all your eggs in that basket, man.
Right, man. You can't be an NBA Israelite, man. You know what's going on in the NBA, man. Brothers they switching teams, like, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, man. I signed up with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and so I'm gonna play hard until the day I retire in the kingdom.
Exactly.
Go out like Jordan, man. Mainly speaking. Go out like Jordan, man. Stick with that same squad.
With the same squad.
Come.
You know? But you have anything else?
Nah, that's all I have.
I got something like we can end off with. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord, man. Hey, listen, man, stay grounded, stay immovable, man. Always be abounding in the work. going on with the highways and the hedges, doing your lessons, man. And you know, and the works outside of that, man. You know, actually walking the walk, man.
Living what you preach, practicing what you preach,
man. Because us being prophets or teachers, man, we're held to a higher regard, man. To much is given, much is required. So we have to make sure that we stay on point with our everyday lives, and we have to live these scriptures. We have to live these commandments and stuff that we teach. And we go out and condemn people for being wicked, but how are we to do that if we're wicked ourselves, man? You know what I mean? So we have to be the example. We have to be the light, as the scriptures say, man. You know, we have to be the image of righteousness and what it is to be a man of the Lord, man. And for the women, you have to be the example of what it is to be a modest and godly woman, huh? You know,
right.
Don't be like these harlots out here.
Salaki, what they say in the world, sometimes you're the only Bible that somebody will read.
Exactly. Yep. You know, all right, so if you ain't got nothing else, man, we could close out there.
Boom.
All right, well, you know, all right. So with that, you know, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory again to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Yahushua, man. Once again, double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. You know, Lord willing, this video was edifying to you listeners. Till next time, we want to say Shalom, Abba, Abba.
Abba.